Hey guys, welcome to this session by Intellipaat. My name is Anirudh, and in this session I'm going to guide you on the fastest and the easiest way on how you all can become experts in data science. I welcome you all to this webinar. I hope you guys are all keeping safe, taking all the precautions and the measurements and keeping your learning rate up. Well guys, without further ado, let's jump into the agenda for this session. So let's start out by understanding all the trends that are present in data science as of today, and then we can check out the prerequisite to become an expert. We can check out the learning path, a couple of job descriptions. We're going to take an approach where we'll use the job descriptions to see what is the actual practical requirement in today's world, and then base your learning path on that. And then we're going to check out the average salary of a data scientist and a lot more in the session, guys. Well, without further ado, let's jump into the first point of the agenda. Well, what's trending in data science as of today? Guys, when you think about it, right, data science has been trending for how many years now? As soon as its inception, right? Think about 2014, 2016, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, 30. Yes, I just put out a date for you guys, which is 10 years away and ahead from now. Data science is the number one career to have in this decade from 2020 to 2030, and there is a lot of reasons why. Think about the general interest of public and think about the powerful solutions that data science is bringing to the picture. And it was a data science powered algorithm that in fact detected that there is a surge of pneumonia cases in Wuhan that led to the rapid spread of the coronavirus as well. So when you think about it, data science is in every field. With data science, right, now we can all focus on the problem solving aspect of things without having to make it very complex. So now when you think about a general situation, right, so there is a very complex problem and you as a data scientist will be put into the picture to simplify it and provide a solution to this particular problem. With data science, here is the advantage. You can put all your focus on fixing the actual problem than understanding how you will use a programming language, how you will use these concepts and breaking your head about how complex things can get. It is very simple, it is very straightforward, and this at the end of the day will let you allot your time efficiently to do good amount of things in data science, guys. And then when you're thinking about the rise of artificial intelligence, right, we are living in a world where we're surrounded by AI every day. Think about your mobile phone. Think about how your mails are filtered in say Gmail or Yahoo or anything like that. Before we had to go into our calendar, set as a reminder and all of that. Now it's very simple. We just say, hey Siri, do this for us. They can perform calls. Google Assistant in fact can have a complete conversation on your behalf with an actual human. In fact Google demonstrated this at one of their keynotes, and it's amazing how far we have come into the world of AI, right? Tesla's self-driving car, well, it is illegal to let a car completely drive itself, hence we call it as an autopilot, where you are supposed to have a pilot there, or else the technology is completely capable of handling a lot of things on its own. And there's a lot more things. I'm just giving you the top cream of what's happening, and all of this in AI. Think about it, it's being driven by data, right? And handling all of these data, driving meaning out of data and converting it into information, it's all data science, guys. So at the end of the day, whenever you think about it now, especially in the world of data science, in the world of AI, in the world of medicine, web development, whatever it is, things have been very easy to deploy because things are working very well in terms of low power devices and low cost devices as well, right? So there was a time when you really could not do a lot even though you had a basic mobile phone, and now there's a very good chance that your mobile phone is probably the most powerful compact device that you'll be carrying around. Think about a smartwatch as well, right? Smartwatches can call, they can play you music, you have an assistant on your smartwatch now, it can track all your health parameters. There's so many things that you can do with just a small amount of power, making it very compact, and data science is driving all of these, and this is the future, right? So the phones were very similar to what a brick looked like way back in the late 90s and the early 2000s, and then it started becoming smaller, thinner, faster, more powerful, and things are getting ahead really quick, and it might seem we're getting out of hand, but you as a data scientist can have a huge impact into these trendy concepts and making sure that you make a dent in the industry as well, guys. Now with this, I am sure you will have a question that says, hey, I am very interested in data science. Are there any prerequisites that I should know before I get started? The first question I always get asked whenever I'm guiding anyone in the field of data science is, do I have to have a degree in computer science? Do I have to have any sort of degree at all to get into a data science job? Guys, the answer is given on your screen by listing a couple of companies. You have IBM, Google, Apple, Tesla, Bank of America, Hilton, and hundreds of others who say we really do not care about degrees at all. You need to have the talent, you need to have the skill, and you need to be trained. With or without a degree is not really a concern, because if you have the skill for it, if you have the passion, if you have the drive for all of this, right? These guys say, hey, we do not really require any sort of official degrees from you guys. All you have to do is you have to be proficient in these concepts and you are hired. And Apple is $1 trillion company. Google, Tesla, IBM, do I really have to talk about these guys? If these big guys say that we do not want a degree, then there is a very good chance, and in fact it's happening already. There's a lot of other companies, even small time startup companies, which says, hey, we do not want your degree, we just want you to come with a good amount of talent and proficiency in the subject as well. So if your question is, do I really need a degree? I know I'm coming from a business side of things. I'm moving from another programming language into data science. I'm a web developer. Now I'm wanting to become a data scientist. I hope you really get your answer in terms of having a degree or not. Now, what about certification programs, right? Certification programs is an amazing thing, because in case if you do not have a degree, or in case even if you do have a degree with a certification program, you're proving a lot to the interviewer. I'll tell you why. See, first thing, it is a stamp of excellence for you guys. It'll show you that you have put in the right amount of time, the effort. It'll show you have career interests in data science. It'll show that you want to do something in data science, you're very serious about it, and this to a company, a hiring company, you'll be very attractive to them, because they have a requirement for passionate people, right, guys? Think about it. So there's thousands of people across the globe who are proficient in data science. They're coming out with great certification programs, and the competition there is increasing as well. So with a certification program, getting you that closer to your dream job is everything, right? So here we are discussing on how you can get on the easiest and the fastest path, and it's just not for your job or to make sure you get a huge raise in your salary with the certificate programs or anything, guys. Think about it. Knowledge is very powerful, and with the certification program, to keep it easy and structured, right, you will have instructors who are very professional and they've been in this field for a lot of years. They know what they're doing, and with their insights, with their help, you can find a very structured pathway to which you can sort of go on to become an expert. See, even if you just go to Google right now and type data science courses or data science learning, you will find hundreds of thousands of results, guys. So when you think about that, it is very confusing for a beginner to know where to start, how to start, what to study, what not to study. So guys, stay till the end of this webinar. I'm going to guide you on the fastest path, and you will see when we discuss the learning path of how much value you can add to yourself if you keep your learning structured, guys. Now, with a certification program, the one very important thing, especially in the world of data science, guys, is to make sure that you have the right amount of knowledge and good number of projects as well. See, what is data science, right? You're trying to use data to solve a problem. So you're given a problem and you have to solve it, and that's a practical situation. If you are extremely proficient in many of the data science concepts, but if you do not know how to implement it, it really doesn't make sense, right? Now, with a certification program, with a good certification program, you will get a lot of hands-on projects. industry level projects where you're given the exposure, you're given a problem statement, you're asked to work on this based on what you've learned in that certification program. This way you can concrete your learning, you can showcase this project, these projects to your hiring manager or whoever it is that you're interviewing for, and tell them, hey, listen, I have put in this amount of work, this is how I've used my knowledge into doing these projects, and so much more, guys. That will add a lot of value, because when you think about it, just talk to a HR friend of yours, in case if you have any, or to a person who's been in data science. They're going to tell you that working on projects is everything, right? So keep this in mind before we talk about the data science learning path. Now, if you're talking about the prerequisites of becoming a data scientist, right, guys, there's a lot of things in data science. It's a huge field, and let me try to give you a quick gist out of it. First thing is machine learning. Machine learning is an aspect where we try to train the machine, by providing algorithms and whatnot to make sure the machine is self-sustaining in terms of its learning and doing a lot of manual tasks in an automated way as well. So, this will involve using a lot of data. It will involve using a lot of algorithms and making sure that your machine, can do things which would require human intervention, but then now it's learnt on its own from data and it really doesn't require it anymore. That's machine learning. And then when you think about the field of neural networks and deep learning, right? So this is all about trying to mimic how a human brain works. The name neural network itself comes from neurons. Neurons is the communication pathways that are present in our brains, right? So it's an amazing field. In case if you have not had a chance to look at neural networks, it is one of the most powerful applications of data science, guys. So, we know that the human brain as of now is probably the most intelligent, organ or the power source for a being out there right now, right? So when you consider that, since we're trying to make our machines mimic that, there's a lot of things a machine can do faster than a human, right? Think about extremely complex calculation and programming power. Of course, humans can have certain abilities that machines can't, but then when you come to the processing power of machines, beating that by a human is very difficult. So neural networks are amazing. Then we have statistics, guys. Statistics is where we take data which is probably jumbled, crumpled, and which is of no use directly, but then when you start hunting around in it, right, you can make sense of so many things in data. The data is now considered as a new oil. See, you know what oil is worth to today's world right now. Data is considered as the new oil, and it drives so many businesses across the globe, right? So trillions of dollars, terabytes worth of data every second are being generated, moved, and people are getting insights out of data now. Once before, right, people thought so much data was useless, and then people started understanding and hunting. They started exploring into the data to see what it can do for them. And with statistics, this is exactly what people are doing. They're taking a raw set of data, converting it into extremely useful information, and that is powering a lot of businesses. And then when we talk about programming languages, right, you have languages such as Python and R, which have been in the center stage whenever we talk about data science and data analytics, guys. So if you are very serious about a career, if you want to become a data scientist, the salaries are amazing. They're very attractive. I'm going to guide you to that in a couple of slides, so make sure to stick around for that. And then, guys, you have to have an understanding of programming languages. See, as of now, I understand that you guys may or may not be proficient in any programming language, or probably you're coming from, let's say, a JavaScript background. Now, you might be asking, hey, how is Python relative to data science, and how is R, or is it easy to learn and whatnot? As I told you, Python takes the center stage when it comes to data science. It is an amazing language. It is extremely powerful yet very simple. So the entire approach to creating Python as a language was that keep it simple, write less code, and make sure it has a huge impact. So that is everything, guys. So you will have to have proficiency in a programming language. And then, the next point that we're talking about, we are living in a world of cloud computing, right, guys? Think about it. There is no more on-site servers everywhere right now. 99% of the companies are using a cloud computing structure in one way or the other. Back in the day, it was only meant as a backup. You're going to move your data into a remote cloud, keep it as a backup there. But today, absolutely no. Of course, you can still back up your data, but then now you can compute and you can do a lot of things without having a server on premise. You can have an extremely powerful solution, right? Think about AWS, Amazon Web Services. Think about Microsoft Azure. Think about the Google Cloud. There's million things that you can do. You can run an entire business just by having on cloud and making sure you do not have any server equipment in your company or home or whatever it is. So understanding how you can move around data in the cloud environment and how you can use the best of both to add a lot of efficiency, right? That's all about cloud computing. And then when we talk about distributed computing, see, data science and its applications will require a lot of programming power, which I think you already know by now. To do this, why do we have to make use of only the power of one computer when we can make use of 10 or 100 or 1000 at a time to run our programs for us? Yes, that is exactly what distributed computing is about. You can move your data as and when you require among multiple computers in a network. You can use the programming power of all of these computers at once to have your program executed and analyzed and work to give you a solution that much quicker, guys. So if you have a question right now, I think it might be, so which do I pick among this? Do I go to machine learning? Do I go to neural network? Do I go to statistics? Do I go to cloud computing? Guys, as a data scientist, as a proficient data scientist, you will need to understand the absolute foundational concepts of all of these. That's one thing for sure. After that, whatever you work on, right, as I mentioned with the certification program, it will train you on all of these. Where you have to go is really dependent on your interests, guys. I really cannot say, hey, pick machine learning and go to machine learning only. That is wrong, because it's like a flavor of ice cream, right? I might like a chocolate, you might like vanilla. So unless you try out all these flavors, you will not know what's your favorite. So make sure to put your hand in all of these a little by little. Take it very slow. Take it nice and easy, because once you become proficient, right, your resume is open to thousands of companies. You will become a person in case. So once you finish your courses, once you finish your certification programs, right, you will be a hotspot for hiring people, because if they know that you have a very good passion for data science, you have a drive for data science, and in fact you are very skilled at solving problems, everyone will want you in their company to help solve their problems, guys. So think about that for a second. And it's not just those skills that you have to have. There's more than that, ladies and gentlemen, because you will need to have very good verbal and visual communication skills as well. See, as a data scientist, there's a good chance that you might be visualizing a lot of data as well, right? So you will have to talk to your data engineering team to bring in the data. You will be using it, working with algorithms, driving insights out of it. You'll be passing it on to the data visualization team. So here, right, your ability to work as a team, your ability to solve a problem, and your ability to sit and work along with other teams is very important. So make sure these skills are in check as well. This is something that is very difficult to teach, but then this is something that you can learn very easily if you go about doing it in a right way. So being a team player, being a person who's very interested, right, you need a drive for data, guys. You need this passion to analyze data, to work on data. See, as soon as you see an Excel sheet which has 100,000 entries, you might be like, you know what, I really cannot do anything about it. But then if you're a person who's very keen, you will see that sheet and you will say, hey, I can simplify this in this manner, I can drive this amount of insight, and I can tell you why your business is not working as it's supposed to do. If you are inclined to do this, you will become an amazing data scientist, guys, with good problem solving skills. It's amazing what you can do in this field. And then an education degree that we spoke about, right? I told you it is not required. Now I can tell you one more thing is that if you do have a degree, it really won't hurt. It will help you a little, because at the end of the day, you will have a quick start of knowing how a programming language works when you start using a programming language. Of course, this is not required, but if you do have it, it is a slight advantage, guys. But then do not worry, if you guys are willing to put your time and effort, a good program, a good learning path itself will do a lot, and you can in fact sideline this. But then I do have to mention it, because if you're coming from this background, do know that it will add a little bit of value itself. Now we saw so many domains out there, right? I only mentioned like 5-6 domains for you guys. There's a lot more things in data science. So what do you do? Do you learn everything? Do you become masters of everything? Do you put down years to learn? The answer is no, guys, because see, your goal is to get either a good raise in your current job. Your goal is to either move to a firm where you can add a lot of value, or you have to learn this and have an impact in today's world. So what do? You focus. You bring your focus and have a target on which field you want to do. Is it statistics that you're very much interested in? Is it neural networks that you love doing? Or is it natural language processing and working on, let's say, speech recognized assistants and personal assistants and all of that as well? So what is it that you want to do? Think about that for a second. After this session, put in half an hour, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, whatever time it is that you require to focus on one aspect, but then know the foundation of everything, and later you will have the power to focus and hone in on one and then work on that, guys. Now with that, you might be asking, okay, now I know everything about what fields there are exist, what skills I need to have, secondary skills, and how I have to attack this problem of becoming an expert. Now you might say, okay, so what's important, what is required? Now here is a very nice chart for a data scientist that you will absolutely love looking at. You will require programming tools. You will need understanding about statistics. You will need understanding about how working with data, mangling data, and working with machine learning, software engineering, linear algebra, multivariable calculus, visualization skills, communication skills, and data intuition. So all of these form to be a very important skill, or let's say it's a very important asset of a data scientist. So always keep this in mind whenever you're beginning to understand on how you can become experts in data science, because with all of these there will be no stopping you, guys. That is one thing I can say, because data science being the number one career of today, well, that speaks volumes, guys, volumes in today's world of technology. And I think you know where I'm getting at, right? So now let's quickly check out the learning path that you have to take to become an expert in data science. See, the first thing, whenever you talk about data science, you always have to start with the W questions. W questions is, what is data science? Where is data science used? Where can I implement? How can I learn? Of course, how is not a W question, but then of course it'll add a lot of value as well. So the basics, the fundamentals of data science is where you have to start. Once you understand all the concepts of the foundational concepts especially, then you can work on your programming skills and in fact on your mathematical skills as well. You'll be working with a lot of data that I think is very clear by now, but then how can you make the most use of all of this data will be driven by statistics, will be driven by the use of mathematics, guys. So there's a lot of situations. You will have a lot of friends, in fact I have a lot of friends who have concentrated and given it everything for their programming languages, but then skipped the mathematics aspect of it. Well, that'll work, but then at the end of the day, it is really valid to understand how you're solving the problem. Just solving the problem, yes, you can do it, but it'll add so much more value to see how machines are being implemented to solve these problems, right? So guys, mathematics is something which is very important. It drives data science in general, so have an understanding of that. After working on your basics and your mathematics, you can dive right into machine learning and deep learning, understand how machine learning works, all the algorithms, supervised learning, unsupervised learning algorithms, how you can exploit these algorithms and make the most use out of them. And then of course you have deep learning as well, right? Deep learning, I just mentioned about neural networks a couple of slides ago. And then it's not just these. You're working with data. It's right in the name, data science, right? So of course you need to know how databases work, how you can store your data, retrieve your data, update your data, and all of these, guys. So having proficiency in the latest database technologies is something that's going to take you a lot ahead in this particular field as well. So becoming proficient in database technologies is something that's going to add a lot of value to you, your career, and in fact to your resume at the same time. And one more thing, data visualization. So you have a data engineer team who knows how to bring the data into your organization. You're sitting there as a data scientist to use all these information to add something meaningful insight. But then having a data visualization skill is something useful as well. I'll tell you why. Now, you are a person who's a programmer, who's an expert in all of these fields, and you're doing it. Now, let's say you have to explain this to, let's say, a person who has an MBA background. It might be your boss, it might be your director, it might be someone else, it might be a client who's not so proficient in data science as much as you. There, if you show them an Excel sheet with like 100,000 entries, it will not really make any sense to them. Here is where another aspect of data science comes into the picture. You will use all of these data to create very beautiful looking visualizations and charts and graphs and so many nice things to look at, guys. So you really should Google this after the session. Just type in data visualization in data science. There's so many beautiful tools that you can use to drive beautiful looking analytics, and it looks so aesthetic, so pleasing. I absolutely love that aspect of a data scientist's job as well, guys. So from left to right, I would suggest this is the order that you should take to understanding, at least clear all the foundational concepts, understand all of these, and then you can hone in on that particular skill that we spoke about previously, right? And in fact, now, here's an approach I always take whenever you have to attack a career, guys. It's very simple. Take a look at what people are asking for. Now, take a look at Spotify's job descriptions. So Spotify says we have some problems and we need a person to solve this. To do that, you need to have an understanding of statistics, you need to have experience working with real world data, and you need to have a sense of driving the business to success, right? See, all these points we already discussed previously, and now we are verifying it. And then you need analytical skills, right? I told you, you require Python, and with analytics, of course, you have Panda, SPSS, SQL, R programming language to handle big data sets. You have Scala, you have so many other things where you have a lot of tools that can do this as well. And with the certification program, you will become proficient in all or most of these technologies. You need to have statistical competence. See, statistics again, and of course at the end of the day you will require knowledge about machine learning, predictive modeling, decision trees, classification models, clustering techniques, and so much more, right? Spotify is a big company. It's one of the biggest music streaming companies out there right now, and they are asking for everything that we just discussed previously, right? So think about this, approach a career in this way, see what people of today are looking for, and then go learn those, become proficient, have a drive for it, or in case if you already have a drive for it, then this is like it's like you're thirsty for data science, and this is like water you gulp down to sate that thirst as well, guys. So it's an amazing thing. And in fact, let's check out another one. Let's check out Nike. Nike is probably the biggest name in sports, right? Think about it for a second. And even these guys say you need to have capabilities to think about data warehousing. You need to have understanding about big data, on how you can gather, clean, validate large amounts of data. You need to have an ability to drive actionable insights, business insights specifically. You need to build pipelines, think about data warehousing, develop processes and methodologies through automation as well. See, automation again. And you will require reports and visualizations and marketing campaigns as well, right? So visualizations, we discussed this as well. So guys, at the end of the day, as a data scientist, you can be responsible for bringing in the data to the company, working on it, and in fact sending it out as visualizations as well. So as an end-to-end goal, we checked out Spotify, we checked out Nike, and you can do this experiment after this session. Just type out data scientist job description and the company name. Let's say you're very interested in working at a company like Apple or Google. Just type Apple data science careers and you can check them out. You can check out the description and the responsibilities there. 80 or 90% of it is going to match whatever we have discussed, because that is the requirement of today, and we have based this session completely to help you guys on that too. So you really have to approach this in this kind of a way, guys. And the next thing we always get asked is, hey, what's the salary aspect like for a data scientist? Guys, if you are a proficient data scientist, every company across the globe, no matter where, will be very much interested to hire you. You have to have an impressive resume, and with one you can get amazing insights, amazing it's a very lucrative career all in all. Because think about it, in the US you're getting an average salary of $135,000 per annum. In India it's lakhs per annum, and at the end of the day, even in the United Kingdom, it's 65,000 Great British pounds as well, guys. The salary insights are there. This is one of the highest paying IT careers of today, and that speaks for itself, right? We can talk about how much money you are going to make for hours and hours on this, because if you are capable of doing a lot of problem solving, if you are capable of doing it easy and help a business go from point A to point B, well, everyone would be interested in you guys. So I'm not trying to tell you an icing on the cake, I'm trying to give it to you raw. So this is the ground situation, you have to work on it, and as soon as you do, it is going to be worth the effort, right? So the best views come after you climb the mountain, from the top of the mountain. So to get there, you do have to put in work, guys. And now we are amongst a pandemic, and hiring has been a little slow, but then for data science, absolutely not. I'll tell you why. I had to jam pack my screen with the people who are hiring as of today. So pick one or pick all the companies out here, just Google their name and add the word careers. They are hiring for a data scientist, guys. So there's a very good chance most of these guys are still hiring amongst the pandemic. So it shows how strong, how fundamentally strong this career is. Even though the world is being taken by a storm and brought down to its knees, this career, with this career, there really isn't anything being hurt a lot, guys. So understand how fundamentally strong it is. Every one of these guys are hiring for a data scientist, and not just think a little broad, guys. It's not just the pandemic aspect of things, but then having a career at one of these guys is going to add so much value to your life in terms of monetary value, in terms of learning. And one important thing we have to discuss is how much impact you will have on the society, right? I'm sure you guys are interested in that equally as much as getting a good salary as well. So with these companies and more, it can be a startup company as well. So you will be a key part of a team that is directly impacting the business, directly impacting the world around the business as well, guys. So that is very important for you guys to understand. And with that, here are my final thoughts, right? This is a very beautiful quote by this person called as Andreas Dunkels, and he says it is very easy to lie with statistics, but it is very hard to tell the truth without it. This is why data is considered as the new oil. With data and statistics, you can simply say a lie and people will say, okay, you have nothing to back it up with. But then if you have the data to prove it, it's very hard to in fact prove it otherwise, right? So read that quote again and read it slowly. It is a beautiful quote. It makes so much sense, and this quote is the foundational aspect of taking a business from A to B, and from them being a new company to them being probably $1 trillion company, guys. So one very important thing, this is one of the most lucrative careers out there. You can make a lot of money if you are capable of doing this, if you have a drive and a passion for it. It's a trending job, guys. Make sure to jump on the trend train to become experts in data science. Now you'll have a question saying, okay, all of this is good, but where do I look if I want further learning materials? Well, let me tell you this, an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest, right? This is one of the quotes I always stand by. It's by Benjamin Franklin, and it's a beautiful thing. There is nothing like this quote, especially for education, guys. You can put your money in a lot of places, but the maximum value you get is by putting it in a way where you're getting something out of it through knowledge, right? Because there is no replacing knowledge. Anything can be stolen from you, but knowledge cannot. So think about that for a second. Especially now, the world requires experts in a variety of fields, right? So to learn ahead, we have a comprehensively put together YouTube channel. We have thousands of videos, so make sure to check out our Intellipaat YouTube channel. We have blogs where we have experts across the globe writing out a lot of content for you guys. We have an Intellipaat community page, community website, and where we have again beginners, intermediate learners, and experts across the globe talking a variety of things about the entire world of information technology. So make sure you check out Intellipaat community as well, guys. With respect to learning resources, free learning resources, I guess all of these should have you covered to get you started quickly.